Have you ever been hyped for something to come out? Whether it be a game, show, YouTube video, or even a movie? Let's just say that it's to come out. So you start to worry that it might fall flat. Sure, it'll be good, but will it meet your expectations? I've had a situation like that. I've had plenty of situations like that. But right now, I'm going to be talking about chapters 3 and 4. So don't touch that dial. We're about to embark on a quest to investigate this absolute masterpiece. Okay, so before I begin, this video is going to be a long one, so I will not be offended if you play this in the background while you do other things. Whether it be doing your homework, playing games, drawing, do whatever you need, just play this video in the background. Alright, with that, we'll begin. Chapter 3 starts right off the heels of Chapter 2's ending. Chris slashing Toriel's tires outside, Toriel calling the police, the TV being turned on, the door opening, the whole works. When Susie and Chris wake up, they find themselves in a place similar to Castletown's entrance. This one, not that one. Before we explore this new area, I feel like I should mention that by going to the left, you'll see this dead end. And I don't know what possessed me to do this my first time playing, but my first instinct was to interact with the phone. And lo and behold, when that happened, this swamp began to move. I don't know what this means. Get on it, theorist. Back to it now. Susie mostly just spends this time walking to talk more about getting the Darkners out of the Dark World. Now, of course, you and I already know that that's not possible, right? In case you didn't know that, Rouse explains it really well here. Essentially, what he's saying is that when things get dark, things tend to distort. For example, a chair might resemble a monster or a human. A poster might begin to move. Get even darker than that, you won't be able to see anything at all. Now, of course, your mind can't comprehend nothing. But what happens if things get darker than that? Darker than dark? Well, you would begin to see things. But this world is not a real world. It's just darkness and your mind comprehending said darkness. When the lights turn on, Lancer turns into a playing card, Queen turns into a laptop, and even Rouse is in Alright, I can understand that Susie doesn't want to accept that fact, but that is the truth. Anyway, here's my favorite antagonist so far. Welcome, Mr. Antenna. I'm so sorry for what I did. I'll explain it later. Anyway, Antenna wants the fun game to be on a game show. You see my #1 favorite characters so far? Yes, they both get the top spot. Thank you. Before we can start, the trio is given 3 characters for their names, so I had to choose this. I'm sorry, Susie chose this. And then I did too. Anyways, for the sake of, I don't know, just because I chose to record it this way, I'm going to be using KRS for the rest of the show. Enjoy. it's time for some video games. Sorry, anyway, time for some video games. No, actually, Chris, Susie, and Ralsei each get a controller to control their own characters on the screen. Now, if you want Chapter 3 Shadow Crystal, you have to make sure that you're absolutely perfect in these sections of the game. Alright? I'm talking winning fights with high TP, as few turns as possible without taking damage, and also finding secrets to, bump your score up a little bit. Also getting a high score. High scores are important too. Plus, you can even see my two favorite characters here. Oh, look at that. They're so cute, and there's little pixelated fours. Oh my gosh, look at there. Even got an oasis you can use to heal yourself at. Anyway, enough gushing over my favorite characters. Let's go have Lancer dig up a key over here. No, Lancer. Lancer, stop. No. What did you do, Lancer? Anyway, I guess it's time for another fight. Oh, this fight's lots of fun. All you have to do is say, I love watching TV 99 times. Just be careful because you will have to make the hardest choice you have ever made in this entire game. I'm just gonna go with the option I chose completely randomly the first time playing. It made me feel sad. The other option also makes me feel sad. Oh, by the way, ignore this fucking not the Papyrus motherfucker over here. I'm sure he doesn't have any nefarious plans or anything. Moving on. We'll just skip ahead to the end of the fight where both Lanino and Elnina, I think I got their names right. If I didn't, then I am going to kill myself. Point is, they both get sad and Tenna ends the fight immediately. By the way, this fight was required, so there's no working around it. I'm sorry. I wish that I could not do this fight. After all this, we go on to a physical challenge, which is just jumping over fire and catching food to feed to this line of shadow guys. Also, Lanino and Elnina are in the bottom of the screen, occasionally running back and forth while crying. Just make sure to stuff their faces with the biggest stag you can make and don't miss. And after this, we see our score for the board, and if you get anything under than an S rank, then restart the board and try again. Go ahead, do it! After you get an S rank, then Chapter 3 comes to a close. It was certainly short, but hell, it was fun. Now we can go on to my favorite chapter. Never mind, I guess. Let's just do another board. But first, we're going here to the green room. You can talk to Ram and get a ribbon. I can't stress enough. Get an S rank so you can go into... Sorry, I was reading my script. It's really bad. Basically, just go to this S rank room and play a creepy game. And also maybe be a little bit of a perv. Okay, a lot of a perv. Okay, that's enough. You can even talk to Lanino and Elnina, which I love because fucking look at them. They're a sun, moon, and a fucking cloud sheep. And they sneeze when they cry. Oh my god, I need to get them back together. This is my main goal now. What about the Dark Fountain? Who cares? Love. What about Torio? Fuck Torio. Oh yeah, editor Jesse here. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that these two clips, I just kind of slapped them together, and I'd say they're close enough to each other to be lined up properly. I know that, like, the majority of you, like the vast majority of you aren't gonna care, but still, kinda cool. Anyway, what was I?
This next sword is a pretty interesting one. It introduces a camera mechanic where you press the C button, or whatever button on your controller is the go button, to pull out a camera that you can use to take pictures of your allies, enemies, and pretty much anything that can give you points. You can also take up to 4 different photos of different things. For example, you can take a picture of this cactus, this red thing, this flower, Lancer, and a green geyser. Also, while you're here, you can also steal all of Tenna's secret riches, so feel free to do that. After you take all those photos, you get a special raft that can take you anywhere on the map. Except there, Tenna doesn't want you to go there. I said don't go there. Don't. Alright, once you go on the correct path, all you need to do is go to this island here and talk to Elnina. By the way, it could be Lanino, depending on what choice you make in the first board. And then you get to put her in your inventory. is nice because now you can reunite the lost lovers and open up a rainbow road leading to the next physical challenge. Except this motherfucker, this bitch, this absolute slut. I don't like Rose Card. I didn't like him before, and I especially don't like him now. Anyway, on to the next physical challenge. Susie, Chris, and Ralsei are all put into rocker gear and are given instruments. Tenna mentions December holiday, and then we get onto my favorite minigame in the entire series so far. I liked it in Undertale Yellow, and I like it now.
Alright, I'm going off script this time, like way off script, because I wanted to like blind react to the song that you play. And it's kind of long for me to play it in its entirety, so I'll just play it in the background while I talk here. Honestly, the song is really good. Hell, I even like Ralsei's modified lyrics. I wouldn't sing that, but, you know, I'd sing the original, but like, you know, Ralsei's kind of cool. He's gotta be, alright? I don't know where I'm going with this. On to the end! And after this song is over, the chapter finally ends for real this time. Psych! Look how stupid you are. Did you really think this was done? Get ready for another ribbon, bitches! Oh, and side note, right here it looks like Rose Card is violating Elena and Wanino. Like, just saying. I didn't see the controllers at first, and moving on. Let's play another creepy game. I know I didn't talk too much about that first one, but it's pretty simple. Find a sword, kill everything, and then find a secret key. This one is find the sword, kill everything, and then use a raft to go up the waterfall cave to go to the area where Tenna said not to go. Then you kill even more enemies and make your way to the right robe mentioned here. Huh. You're welcome to that one, game. Go ahead and hit Noelle, because I can assume it's Noelle because I both have eyes, and I did Snowgrape before this. And use her like you did back in Chapter 2. Don't lie. It's good to make your friends stronger. Ignore your cages, please, to stop. You know what's best for our timid little friend. Kill them. Where was I again? Oh, yeah. Use her up. Get the Shotoki and get used up before... The fuck do you want, Chris, huh? Yeah, fuck off, alright? God, vessels these days. And before we can do Board 3, Susie wants to talk to Tenna to let him know that this is the last board that the trio will be doing. But Tenna is acting more suspicious than I thought Ralsei was when I first played Deltarune. I'm dead serious, I did not trust Ralsei at all when I first started. Did that change? Not at this point it didn't. Will it ever change? Hell if I know. Anyway, we make Chris assault this guy here to get into the secret room where I already know the code because I'm a gamer. I also know this code too. Once we reach the snowy area, I swear to God, Noelle, if you're in here in the middle of the night, I am going to make you freeze your own mother or something like that. But, no, Noelle is lucky here because she isn't here. Instead it's just Toriel and a gotcha ball. We get an awkward moment and Tenna threatens to kill himself, which I actually never saw once whenever I play this game, so I still don't believe it. Just turn the old TV off and escape because Toby said so. You can go ahead and sneak around, see Ralsei as a horse, and shred contracts to recruit everyone you can. Oh yeah, there's also a water cooler here. Yeah, this is not the only one, and both times it scarred the hell out of me. Alright, I have a water cooler in my house, and I get anxiety every time I look at it now. Thanks, Toby! Some poor saps escape, see Horsey again, and then take on the titular trio. I like this fight, but only because Wanino and Elena... Oh, come on! Only because Elena and Wanino are in it. Get them back together properly, and watch them do that adorable cry and sneeze! I love them so much, not nearly as much as they love each other. I'm a close third. Anyway, Tenna is clamoring to find the fun gang, so he sends his employees to catch us. But since we're so nice, everyone quits. This includes Ram and my favorite duo, since Deltarune chapters 1 and 2. I'm sorry, I wrote this script while I was sleep deprived and also avoiding sleep, so my bad. Anyway, we eventually make it back to the green room. Insert weed joke here.
you can check if you recruited everyone here at this clipboard. I beg of you, please do it. Alright? Oh, and by the way, you can play the creepy game again. Do it. Kill your friends. Oh, don't look at me like that, Chris. I literally had no other option. Don't tell me not to play the game, because I love secrets. If only they loved me back. Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, come on. Come on. Come close this time. Damn it! After the hardest fight in Chapter 3, Bite Me, you can scare Chris and get the Shadow Mantle. Susie gives us some good advice, and it's time to fight Tenna. He's easy! Not only that, but he even becomes a friend like Queen. I just love that he's willing to defy the Knight themselves and return Toriel to... Oh no. Okay, this next part is important. Before the Knight appears, you're going to want to make sure to give Susie the Shadow Mantle and make sure you have all the revivements you can get. Save your game and proceed. Meet the Knight. Good luck!
Yeah, there you have it. A supposedly impossible boss beaten just like that. I mean, honestly, I was expecting it to be a bit more challenging, and I definitely didn't, grind this for hours on end my first time fighting this boss. It's just really easy. Way easier than that fight to get the Shadow Mantle. I will die on that hill. Yeah, let's just go ahead and sit back and watch Susie finish off the night. Look at that. Broke off a shard of its black knife. Is that a shadow crystal I see? Yep, everything's gonna be... Did I say you beat the knight? Sorry, he let you win. Anyway, let's go ahead and get saved by Undyne, who was also at this dark world, remember? So we all called the cops at the end of chapter 2. We see Undyne get taken away by the knight, so we have to follow it all the way outside of this dark world and into the white world. Go down to the shelter, and then you see the door closed. The dark fountain inside. Which means we got some more stuff to do. First things first, we gotta find the code for this piano here. Which, Chris, why are you looking at it? And that was DELTARUNE Chapter 3. Overall, a really good addition to an amazing game. Now I'd like to apologize if you feel like I have skimmed over the majority of the chapter, but that's mostly because of what comes next.
Alright, I did mention earlier that I did do Snowgrave before coming into this recording, and I would like to mention that in Chapter 3, Snowgrave doesn't actually change anything at all. You know, it's unfortunate, I know, but, you know, kind of makes sense story-wise, if we're being honest. The creepy game is still the same, character interactions are still the same, so I guess it's time to move on to my favorite chapter of DELTARUNE. It is time for
DELTARUNE Chapter 4. I have no words that can describe just how much I love you and how much I fear you. I can't guarantee that I'll keep the jokes up this entire section of the video, but I'll do my best to. Because we'll be venturing from the familiar sights and sounds and characters from the previous chapters. No more whining to keep me satiated. Not to mention, there's one particular moment. If you've played this chapter or you've seen anything about this chapter, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. Where's the fun in me just saying, oh yeah, no, this affected me? Let's get into how and why it affected me, shall we?
Deltarune Chapter 4 starts right off the heels of Chapter 3, with the knight taking Undyne to the shelter, and the dark fountain in Chris's house being sealed. If you look in the background there at the TV, this is why I beg of you to recruit everyone you can in Chapter 3. If you don't, then no one wants to help find antenna at the end of Chapter 3, which means TV will end up being completely destroyed, and if you do recruit everyone, then the TV will be just fine. It'll have a broken antenna, but that's easily fixed. Anyway, we get a little bit of breakfast, and we also get to go to church, because remember, that was something that was mentioned in Chapter 2. Plus, it would be a good place to start for looking for leads to get to that shelter. Although, best lead that we can find is Carol Holiday. Hey, don't look at that! Hey, what's up, bitches? Okay, I lied to you about there being no more Landino and Elena. I swear that's the only thing I lied about at the beginning of this section. Yeah, welcome to the Love Dojo. All of the fights that you could have done in Chapter 2, all gone, so make sure to get those done. Guys, welcome to the Elena and Landino Dojo fight. It's really fun, trust me. Except for that lamp. They both agree that the lamp was pretty bad. I don't know why, but when I see that lamp, I just get a really visceral reaction. Like, I want to, like, find the nearest lamp to me and just wring its neck out. Like, I'm talking, like, I would start, like, bodybuilding just so that way I can pick up a tall lamp and just break it over my knee, like Bane did to Batman that one time. But yeah, I don't like that lamp. Alright, moving away from the discussion of lamps that people may or may not like, and whether or not I would still be friends with said people who may or may not like this lamp. Got a study session with Noelle at her house. Doesn't matter how it happened. Let's just go ahead and look around for some clues, huh? I mean, this guitar here has got a code in it. Let's read it. 1, 2... Oh, shit! Absolutely nothing important happened just now. All that matters is that a shelter code is inside of that guitar. And that Susie also saw the code in that guitar. But Carol Holiday, she came back before Susie could read the code. Let's just move on to the next bit of the game, please. There's nothing important that happened here. Well, that feels a little extreme. Hey, doesn't matter. Dark Fountain means a dark world. Dark world means adventure. And an adventure means fun gameplay and incredible boss fights. Speaking of which, the Roaring Knight is here in front of the fountain. Maybe we can just get past it and... Never mind, I'm bad at being a gamer. It's fortunate too, because if you actually make it to the night, Chris will actually whip out the dark shard that they collected from Chapter 3 if you beat the knight then, and use it to slice the knight in half and go to close the fountain, ending the entire game early. No, not really. Chris just lets the knight win. Anyway, let's continue. Susie gets heel erectile dysfunction when she tries to heal Chris, who is badly wounded on the fall. Good, you trash can thrashing piece of shit. Rouse joins the group, and then we continue onward. We go to a dark room, and we get chased. An old man, of all people, save us. He is not a darkener, just some old dude. Anyway, let's hope this geezer get to his study. Despite Susie's thoughts to the contrary. Besides, it could be nice to buy some stuff that'll heal more than 100 HP. Also, this dark world in the church has the prophecy that Ralsei says at the beginning of the game, but goes more in depth into it, which does have some secret sections that you can miss, so we'll cover that in a little bit. But for now, let's look at my third favorite fight in Chapter 4. I'm gonna show the entire thing just because it's faster than it normally is, I promise.
Too bright! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
Alright, I'd like to apologize for padding out the runtime of this video by showing the entirety of fights. So, I promise I won't show the entirety of any more fights, or at least without commentary. So let's move on to my second favorite fight in Deltarune Chapter 4, because this is apparently a ranking video now. Remember that old guy? Well, if you open up the fireplace in his study, you'll find an axe for Susie. Except it is in the old guy's study, so much like with other stuff you get from the study, you're gonna have to pay him. Or you can give him a little haircut. Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome fight. I always beat it on my second try, which I recommend you do too, if
or at least lose your first time, essentially. Also, this fight feels like it completes the chapter, which I'll touch up on more later. But yeah, the Hammer of Justice is an amazing boss fight. Let's actually move on with everything now. So, thanks to helping out Jack back there, Susie wants to use her heal more often, and we even get some climb claws, I think is what they were called. So basically, we're able to climb up and make our way to the fountain. Although, on the way there, Chris and Rouse need to wait outside this room for whatever reason, so Susie can gather the sheet music for this piano here. You know, it's just a piano that might not play well. You know, it's all good. I know how to play the piano. I'm not the best at it, but I know basic notes like this. Shit. Alright, look, Chris, I know you and I have had our differences. We've had, you know, our moments. But could you please help me out here? Okay, I didn't mention this before, but Chapter 4's soundtrack is phenomenal. I genuinely love this more than even Undertale's soundtrack. Hell, even Undertale Yellow's soundtrack. And trust me, that means something. I mean, just listen to Dark Sanctuary, the song that I played more than the other ones so far. Now I'm playing it right now. It's just so fucking good. But enough gushing over the soundtrack. I'll just continue to play the game's music in the background. When we return to the old man's study, he asks Susie to rewrite a letter for him since the letter will disappear when the fountain is sealed. So after the fountain is sealed, Susie will write the letter, you know, that sort of thing. But anyway, short time later, we make it to the fountain, where the knight escapes through a grand door we've only ever seen in 2 other chapters. Yeah, I sped through this beginning bit a little bit, but you know, it'll make sense in a moment. So once the fountain is sealed, Chris and Susie go back to the church's lobby, but yep, there's another fountain through this locked door. And also the old man is a dead old man. Big shocker there. Susie figures this out when she searches this office here, and then, oh yeah, here's the letter she wrote. Oh look, candles. Anyway, enough of this stuff. Let's get back to the church, because Susie has an idea, but she's gonna need to borrow a sharp object from Chris. That'll work. So now it's time to make a dark fountain to try and talk to the old man about the door lock. Personally, I would have asked him about the shelter code, but who am I to judge? And this dark world tells more about the prophecy, such as Susie being the true main character of Deltarune. That's an actual theory I have. I mean, she's in the middle when she's in combat, she's in the middle in the prophecy, and there's a lot of emphasis about her being like a beacon of hope, essentially. I mean, she brings hope to Tenna, her
story is honestly phenomenal, and yeah, I just like it. She's gone from being a bad guy to being a true hero. Anyways, Prophecy calls Ralsei the Lonely Prince, Chris the Cage, and Susie the Girl, if that matters to any of you. Also, look at this dark world and the music! I love it! Anyway, what's going on here? Yeah, since this dark world is different from the first one, the old man isn't here. In fact, he wouldn't even be able to go back to Castletown, as you and I might have already known. You're looking at him, unfortunately. Anyway, right before this fountain is sealed, the fire extinguisher tells the fun gang to go to the door. Now we're cooking with gas. Third sanctuary is the final stretch. There's a secret area here that has prophecies about both Asgore and the angel. We don't see the angel's image, of course, but I have my own theories. If any of you know what I missed, please feel free to leave it in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious. Also, you can go back to Castletown and enter Mike's room. All I have to say is good luck. Now it's time to climb to the fountain once again. Luckily, the fun game has made friends that can help them get up. You have been recruiting people, right?
But forget about that. Right now, I want to show you my favorite moment in all of Deltarune. Not Deltarune Chapter 4, Deltarune as a whole. Because this next scene has affected myself and frankly many other people who played the game, don't lie, I know who you are. It brought us all to literal tears. Just roll the clip.
Editing Jesse here. Before I get back to what I recorded before going over this bit, I just rewatched that bit, I just rewatched that scene, and yep, still affects me. Anyway, let's finish this for good.
And now, like Susie said, we don't need to fight the knight. We just need to get past it, okay? It shouldn't be too bad.
Or not. Okay, you could just do that.
Okay, remember when Bertolli attempted to make a dark fountain inside the cyber world? Well, I don't regret what I made Noel do to him, because if he was successful, then this full motion video looking motherfucker would have emerged from the petrified fountain. So, now the Intrepid Trio has to climb in order to try and defeat the Titan. Also, we can get our first official kills in this game, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Anyway, let's fight the Titan. First, we need to build up enough TP to destroy the shield on its base and make it vulnerable. With the Dark Shard, this will continue the fight immediately to the next phase, where the Titan will defend itself and heal. Now that's bad, but luckily we get help from the one, the only Hammer of Justice. Use Double Buster and literally dunk on that Titan bitch! Anyway, Susie sees how the story should end, and well, this is also where I learned to finally trust Rouse. I'm like regular Pat in his Kingdom Hearts 3 boss ranking video when he finally admits that Mickey didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry I doubted you, Rouse. Please don't betray my trust. Anyway, the chapter comes to a close with Toriel being at home dancing with Sans the whole time, Noise. How is this possible? Well, Toriel canceled to choir practice because of the rain. That night, the soul was in its cage. Fair enough, I guess I did go a little too far. And Chris gets a phone call. Tomorrow is the festival, and now it's time for...
Alright, it's time. As the more astute of you might have noticed in the footage, what you've seen was different from how you played the game. When I played Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, like I mentioned, I did Snowgrave. So let's look at some of those differences, shall we? At the church, Noelle is the one that asks about studying at her house instead of the other way around. Or how about this moment when waiting for Susie? I kind of hinted at it a little bit. Here's the full thing. Just close your eyes and think about Noelle. Or how about the candles? How about instead of praying for, well, you know, for Azrael, we instead pray for Noah. Okay, fair. Kind of dirty of me to do that after what I did. But what did I do? Well, sit back and watch this, the last sequence of events that I'm going to use to pad the runtime of this video.
coincidence. Red. Black. It snowed. Noel will get stronger. Equip. Proceed. 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 Equip. Equip.
Alright, I'm gonna apologize for the terrible voice acting there, but yeah, that happened. I'm not gonna say I didn't deserve it, nor am I gonna say I did deserve it. But I will say I had a number of chances to not do that. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna end this video, so I don't know. I guess if everyone's making Dark Mountains, I guess I could give it a try. Just, I think I have a sharp object on me. Let me just go ahead and give this a try. Hey man, I noticed you've been in your room lately. Is this because of the whole Snowgrave thing you did? Okay, well, man, come on. I know you told me you wanted to go through your whole villain arc or whatever, but like, come on. We both know you're gonna end up feeling bad for it eventually, and then you're probably gonna end up restarting the entire game from chapter 1, so why not just cut out the middleman, restart chapter 4, and not do that? I mean, come on, are you even... Oh, you couldn't even be bothered to add the chroma key. That's just great.